I'm
Adam.
and
I'm
Carlee.
and
Let's
have
the
talk.
So Adam, how do you become an expert at sex?
Ooh.
Whatever type of sex it may be.
Well, I think it's really hard to become a sexpert like in the bedroom because not everybody's gonna like the same thing, and so it's a lot about you knowing yourself, but also you knowing your partner. So that will come with time with any individual person. You know, there are things you can do like read articles about reproductive health. Get with yourself and figure out what you like.
Definitely.
And then see if you know what you like, you can communicate that to your partner. And if you communicate things well, then you're going to enjoy yourself more.
Communication between partners is one of the most important things for good sex. In the heat of the moment, they don't want to share what they're needing or what they're wanting, but really that's what makes you the best at sex. After a while, it might not even be verbal communication anymore, but just being able to read your partner's body language to better suit their needs.
Yep.
That's a big part of it. And doing a little research definitely helps.
What do you think about virginity, the concept of losing your virginity? What does that mean? Do you actually lose anything that you can't gain back? Or, as a concept, what does virginity mean to you?
I don't like the concept of virginity personally because I think it's very heteronormative. When people think about losing their virginity, I assume most people are thinking of penis in vagina sex.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that may never happen, and that doesn't mean that they aren't a part of having first-time sex. On top of that, losing your virginity makes it seem like such a negative thing to have happen, where I think that first-time sex should be a positive experience. It shouldn't be seen as losing anything. It should be seen as just another step in your life.
I remember back to high school when I think virginity and the concept of virginity was kind of a big deal. When a male loses their virginity, it was more of a rite of passage and something that, was high-five worthy. Where, girls losing their virginity, it was like they were losing something, a part of themselves, which really isn't true.
So on a related note, what's the deal with abstinence?
Well, abstinence in general, if you want to be abstinent, good for you.
If a person chooses to be abstinent, I think that that's fine and that's their business, and it's just like any other type of sex. I mean, slut shaming we haven't really talked about yet, but I think that abstinence shaming happens too, where people choose not to have sex and then they're kind of shamed for that. That's equally is not okay. But the reality is that somewhere between 95 and 99% of people don't wait until they're married to have sex.
It's important to shift that conversation more towards it's probably going to happen, let's be real, and here's how you go about it when it does.
Exactly.
Is there an age when somebody is ready for sex?
I think it just varies for every person individually.
Yeah, I agree. I think, when you're able to fully grasp, some of the consequences of maybe having sex, like having a baby or sexually transmitted infections, and be able to address those concerns and ways to, make sure they're not concerns, then I think you're at a point where you can have a sexual relationship and enter into one knowing that you're making good choices.
I do remember when I was a teenager reading it was like People magazine or one of those, this article, and it was called Old Virgins. Celebrities were in their 20s when they first started having sex. And I remember thinking, that's old? Like that, being 21 and not having had sex yet, that scene is old. I remember Tina Fey was on the list and she was 24 and she was like, I couldn't have gotten anybody with me if I tried. And so then I was like, well, if Tina Fey can be 24 and not have had sex yet, then I'm cool.
All right, in my book.
Okay, well that about wraps it up for this week. Make sure you check out the blog because we've got lots of awesome posts. And you can also reach us on our Facebook or Google Plus or our Twitter.
And if you have any questions for us or comments, you can always reach us at ask@letshavethetalk.com.
Until then, we'll talk to you guys next week.